Instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Botter and Scott McLeod. Yes, this is the Flagstick Podcast, and I am Jeff Botter, and with me, as always, is Scott McLeod. And this episode of the Flagstick Podcast is brought to you by Ping Golf Canada. If you're looking to improve your game, then you need to check out the entire family of G425 drivers, fairway woods, and hybrids and irons at ca.ping.com. Scott, we got an unbelievable show. We always have an unbelievable show. Listen, let's set the precedent right now. I got my coffee. Good. I feel awake. I feel alive. I'm feeling like I am going to have a bang of a show.
All right, a smooth one. Smooth.
Yeah. Yes, very smooth.
All right, looking forward to it.
Now, we had the opportunity. I'm going to just get into some kind of cool little small talk here. We got down to the BCC and
Brockwell Country Club
in lead up to the Flagstick Two-Ball Championship, which will be happening this weekend at the Brockwell Country Club. Mm-hmm. And field is set, draw is out, everything is ready to go. But we got down there, we did some course setup, and the cool thing about Brockville and why this course is such a perfect golf course for the event that we're trying to do, because the way the two ball is set up is we're trying to do this where we have divisions or flights, as people like to call them. We like to call them divisions, and we divided the whole field up into three divisions based on total team index.
Right.
But we also wanted to make sure that everybody had the opportunity to compete for the Stanley Thompson Trophy, which is the big prize at the end of the day that one team is going to walk away with getting their name engraved on the plaque on that trophy for infinity and beyond. But the beautiful thing about Brockwell Country Club is in doing this, we had to make sure that every team played the same tees, because you can't have different teams playing different tees and competing for the same trophy. Brockville is the perfect golf course for this. It is not crazy long.
Nope.
So you're not dealing with trying to break down a 7,000-yard golf course. But the unique thing about it is the holes are there's such a variety of the holes, that positions that you can set the tees to make the golf course, to encourage scoring, to make it a little bit more challenging on some of the holes without having 480-yard par fours. Like, it's just such a great golf course to set up for an event like this, a team style event, Stableford event, gross scores. Like, it's going to be it's just a great golf course for it, and it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Weather's looking fantastic for the weekend.
I know.
26, 29 degrees and sunny. It's going to feel like summer. I think the real test for Brockville Country Club, for those who haven't played it, is really around the greens.
Yes.
And the great part is the skills of the players will dictate how they do. And it's not so much of just the course forcing it, it's how they take care of it. So like you said, players from all different divisions and handicaps can play from those same tee decks, which are not going to be overly long, but their skill is what's going to make the difference in the scoring and how they're able to handle things. And obviously we've set up the golf course very fairly as far as the greens and hole locations and positions. And the superintendent there, Ryan, is going to be very diligent about making sure the greens are just the right speed.
Yes.
Like you said, should be fun. Inaugural event doing this, so obviously that comes with some challenges of trying to get a bigger field and lots of other things going on this weekend. But I think players are going to come out, have a great time, and just like we've done in all our other tournaments, that sort of permeates among the golf community, and then people will be more interested, and there'll be more teams even wanting to show up next year.
Well, and that's the thing. People have to remember the Flagstick Open, as big an event and as popular an event as that one is now, it started kind of the same way. Like we tried to fill the field. It wasn't a full field the first year. It wasn't a full field the second year. But then we get into later years, and now we're talking about a field that is full and a waiting list that is almost half the size of the field.
Yeah.
So, we don't necessarily anticipate that the two ball is going to go down that road, but we hope that where we're trying to have a field of 100 players and 50 teams, that this year we're almost at half that, which is, we're fine with that. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not in this to make billions and off a tour, off events. We're in this to create events for golfers to participate in that are top level organized events at quality golf courses for a decent cost.
Yeah.
And unique, and that's the
no
two-ball. The two-ball is unique. I mean, this is a total team.
No cuts, no qualifiers, right?
No cuts, no qualifiers. Everybody gets 2 rounds. Everybody gets a great swag registration package. Prize table is good. Good meal after the round on Saturday. I mean, it's and
I'm just really curious how players are going to respond to the format, because I'm excited about the format. A lot of people in North America don't play Stableford, where it's a very, very much a staple over in the UK, and this is a combined Stableford. So
we modified it a bit,
right? But they get to play their own golf ball, and they get to score on their golf ball. But if they're blowing it out and they're doing terrible on the hole, then they don't lose that much. But
the most they're going to lose, the most any player will lose on any hole is 1 point.
Right. Exactly.
The way we've got it set up is it's 1 point. You don't lose anything for a bogey. So as long as you don't make anything over a bogey on any hole, you're never going to lose any points. You're always going to be gaining. So make as many pars as you can possibly make, throw in a birdie here and there, and you're going to accumulate points. But if you make a double, you lose a point. You make a triple, you make a quad, you have a complete X blow up. Actually, just got a message from one of the participants asking, if we have a blow up hole, are we allowed to just mark a double and move on? I'm like, yes, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to beat yourself up. No. You just it's a
which
double.
Is why I think it's great for a fall event.
Yes,
a little less pressure, a little bit more fun. Yeah, we'll just see how the format plays out. And,
no, it's going to be good. Looking forward to it. So aside from talking about that, we do have another great show for you. Some awesome discussions coming up on the front nine. Some wrapping up a lot of the tournaments for the season. We're going to get to some of those results. The back nine, we're going to talk about some fall golf, because that's where we're at right now. It's September, and fall is a great time to play golf. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're going to take a look at a new model of shoe from ECCO. In Product Watch, and Jake Haime is going to have a little discussion with us about face awareness on the lesson tee. So we're going to get to all of that in the back nine, but first, as always, we got to get to the front nine, presented by Metcalf Golf Club. A natural setting, a pleasant challenge. Another one of those nice fall golf courses. Looking for fun golf at a great rate. Save 15% when you prepay. Visit metcalfgolf.com to book. Okay. Jumping into the front nine, Scott. Intersectionals finally wrapping up for the year.
Thankfully.
In so many ways, because it's not just wrapping up an event. They're wrapping up some divisions from events that have already sort of crowned their champions. So the latest one, obviously, the senior men's Intersectionals.
Yeah, it's the fifth and the last one for the season. And I will tell you, these are a busy event for us. And the fact that, there's this year over 2,300 golfers participated in the OVJ Intersectionals, which is fantastic. That's 231 teams in 61 divisions across the board. These ones are late nights for us, for our team. As the scoring comes in, we try to do live scoring updates on our website. It gets a lot of traffic. A lot of people are checking on that, but sometimes those results are still coming in 9-10 o'clock at night and then into the next day. But we're proud to say they're all up there for the senior men's Intersectionals, which just took place this week. Ottawa Hunt hosted the A division final. They were the defending champions from last year, and they successfully defended their title. 38 points, narrowly defeating Rivermead at 34 points. Royal Ottawa came in third at 28, and unfortunately Camelot at 20 will be relegated down to the B division for next year, and Canada will be moving up into the A next year.
And of course, all of the results from all of the other divisions you will be able to find at flagstick.com, 100%. As well as all the results of all the other Intersectionals, the senior women's, the men's, the ladies, the juniors, and so on and so on. So I know the Intersectionals is a big one. It really is. Well, I mean, it's funny. It's funny in the old days of Flagstick when we did Intersectionals and we type the results into the pagination software for the magazine, we had to, like, going way back, that had to all be done manually. So that even at that point, there was no copy and pasting from anything, but we were manually putting in the spaces in between to line up it was one tedious. Now it's just as bad now because of the timely nature of it. You've got to do it right away.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do it right away back then. I, in a lot of cases, had better part of 2 weeks to put results into the, because the magazine came out monthly and we didn't have really stuff on the website. But now we got to do it like right away.
Yeah, just people are eager to see how the divisions have played out. So, we see the traffic on the website just spikes hugely during this. But we're happy to do it. And congratulations to everybody who made their team this year.
Yes.
And at least attempted to qualify as well, because while we mentioned the 2,342 golfers that kind of made their teams, there's thousands more that tried to qualify. So congrats to all of them as far as representing your club. And it's an important event for sure.
Okay, so the Play Junior Golf Tour, which is we're a very big part of as the official media partner of the Play Junior Golf Tour. Now as the season progresses, it's the race to the One Capital Cup. That's the end goal. They play in all these 1 day and 2 day events throughout the year to culminates to getting to play ultimately for the big prize at the end of the year is the One Capital Cup. And normally we just say, okay, well, that's the results are on the website, but these since it is the One Capital Cup, we should probably mention the winners. So why don't you give it a go there? Let me pass the mic. Let me pass it on to you. Why don't you give it a go and list the winners?
Well, the tour wrapped up at in late August there at the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club. Not the greatest day, but they did manage to get it in. They did have a couple events canceled this year due to weather. So, good on Chris Veldkamp and their team for their team. I say him and whoever he can wrangle.
There are people that help him, but let's be honest. It's the team of Chris Veldkamp and Chris Veldkamp and Chris Veldkamp.
Yeah. Congratulations to him for running another tour. This is an important part of the structure of golf in Eastern Ontario, especially for junior development and for players getting their first opportunities to play tournaments. So without further ado, the winners in all the particular divisions, and pardon me if I butcher any of the names, but I'll try not to. Adam Boys, Landon Touchette, who was on this podcast this year, hole in one player. Adam Girls, there was a three-way tie with Ava Bolt, Amelia Buhagiar, Emily Richard. Bantam Boys was won by Hunter Stevenson. Bantam Girls was Amelia McFarlane. Initiation Boys was Beckett Patterson. Junior Boys was Ian Duffy. Junior Girls was Mimi Brader. Juvenile Boys was Colton Bischoff. Juvenile Girls was Xinyao Zhang. Novice Boys was Nash Adamek. Novice Girls was Brianna Watts. Pee-wee Boys was Jacob Minkhorst, and Pee-wee Girls, Marley Murray. So congratulations to all those winners. Obviously, they played well throughout the year, participated in a number of events, because obviously it helps to participate in more events. But for anyone that's interested, definitely look up the Play Junior Golf Tour. Maybe make some plans for next year already. Get a hold of Chris, see what's going on for there, and certainly get out and support this tour. We see far too many juniors. Unfortunately, this is going to be a weird thing to say, but there's far too many juniors, unfortunately, that just jump up and try to play a lot of heavy provincial tournaments and maybe national level tournaments.
This is where to start.
A lot of them are not ready for those level of competitions. They seem to think that if they just skip the local stuff, that'll be better for them. Learn to play tournaments, learn to win, learn to compete. That's an important aspect as far as junior development. So if you want your players to have success, you have to remember this tour, which obviously incorporated the St. Lawrence Junior Tour, has produced all sorts of top players that have gone on to play the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour, and they started by playing these local events. So definitely investigate that if you're a parent of an aspiring golfer.
Yep, definitely. And we're As always, we're really happy and excited to be a part of this tour, and we're really excited that we have a continued arrangement with Chris and the Play Junior Golf Tour that will definitely be with them for many years to come. So, good season, well done, Chris. Now you can get into hockey, so you really don't get any rest. Sorry,
He's
bud.
back, and he's back to school. So
Yeah.
teacher that he is.
Sorry, bud. All right, 65th annual Cornwall Open. This is a mainstay. This tournament's been going on obviously this is the 65th edition of it. Labor Day weekend. Very popular event. Brandon Lacasse won the pro title with a birdie on the first playoff hole. After shooting 1 under in regulation, he beat Alan McGee. Lacasse is now headed to the first stage of DP World Tour Q School. So good way to finish before you head off there. So congratulations to Brandon and good luck at the DP World Tour Q School. A division was won by Will Stuckless with a 2 under 70. I beat Trent Thomas by 1 and Phil Patterson by 2. We'll see Phil this weekend with his partner Adam Folco at the Flagstick Two-Ball. So, and you can check out all the full results because there are more results. So check the full results at flagstick.com. Big news in Canadian golf that the international team for the President's Cup, the captain's picks were announced, and how awesome is it that we will have? It was so cool when Mike Weir became the first Canadian to play on the international team.
A player's assistant, a captain's assistant.
Yeah. And now this year we have 2 Canadians, Corey Connors, and now Taylor Pendrith was announced. Good friend of Corey Connors, so I can't imagine they wouldn't be paired together at some point or another. But Taylor Pendrith was named to the international team for the President's Cup this fall. It was such awesome news. Very, very cool news.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was obviously potential for some other Canadians to be on that team. Adam Hadwin, Mackenzie Hughes as well, were high up there in points. Actually, Taylor was right behind them in points. But Taylor basically has been on a run of late. He came back from a 4 months off due to a rib injury. He tied for 11th at the Players Championship, and then boom, he was off for more than 4 months. But he came back with a fantastic level of play. He had 5 top 15 finishes in 6 starts after the rib injury. Like I said, he'd finished T11 at Sawgrass before that, just on a heater. So much so that if you look at some of the database rankings like Data Golf puts together for world rankings, he actually ranks way higher than a lot of other players in the world. And Captain Trevor Immelman just said, just what he brings to the team, especially at Quail Hollow, a golf course that hosted the 2017 PGA Championship and continues to host the PGA Tour. But the way it's set up really will play into the hands of a player like Pendrith, who is 10th in driving distance at just over 316 yards to drive. He's 10th in greens and regulation on the PGA Tour, which I think a lot of people sort of underrate. Corey obviously is a very straight player, leads the tour a lot of times in proximity to the hole. Just a deadly combination. And I think Taylor is really underrated in his wedge game. So this is a big chance for him to shine on a big stage. Obviously has not won yet on the PGA Tour, just only been on there for a little while, but a 2-time winner on the Canadian Tour. Done tons of interviews with Taylor, and he's just a great guy. And I think the fans will really take to them. Obviously, the U.S. fans are not going to take to him if he puts a beating on him, but just that much more exposure for him in this President's Cup that's coming up starting September 20th. And I know a lot of people are quite excited about this to happen. As you said, good friends with Corey, actually lived on Corey and Mal's couch for quite some time. So they're that close, played together at Kent State. Should be fun to watch for sure.
Well, let's hope that we see Team Canada do well in, as I'm sure that they will get paired together at some point, and let's hope they have some success so they can stay paired together, throughout the event. Definitely would be a lethal combination given how the two of them strike the ball. So
yeah, for sure.
Let's check that out. September 20th to 25th at Quail Hollow, obviously be all over the TV. Let's cheer on our Canadian boys. Okay, so the Gordon Cup. I mean, there's so many traditions. We talk about the Cornwall Open. We talk about the Intersectionals. We talk about, and the Gordon Cup is another one of those Valley traditions that's been going on for years and years and years, and amongst the Valley courses, and
since 1930.
So this would be the 93rd.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
has not stopped.
No.
That's the cool thing.
Yeah.
It's been continuous as far as play.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at other events, Cornwall Open, for an example, obviously was canceled for a couple of years during the pandemic, but they've managed to keep going with the Gordon Cup. So, which is really, really neat.
Now the Pembroke, Renfrew, Arnprior, Sandpoint, Mississippi, and Deep River are the teams that compete in this quite historical tradition. All vying to get that Gordon Cup brought back to display in their clubhouse and have those bragging rights for a year now. It's being hosted by Pembroke this year, and it just happens that it's on the same weekend as the two-ball. So maybe
unfortunately we miss out a few players.
Yeah, we miss out a few good players from the Valley, possibly that could have participated, but anyways.
We get it.
Now, the Pembroke Golf Club, cool enough that they're hosting the 93rd edition of the Gordon Cup this year, is also celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. So it's kind of cool that they're hosting the Gordon Cup on the
and they're the defending champions.
Yeah, and that's pretty awesome. And I think I think Renfrew holds the record for the most number of Gordon Cup victories since it began in 1930 with 36.
Correct.
And then closely followed by Pembroke, I think, with 29.
Yeah.
And let me just hang on. Let me check my notes. Sandpoint. Well, you know what? Some numbers I know off the top of my head, some numbers I don't. And
if you knew these all off the top of your head, that would be saying
that'd be quite the statistician.
That would be tough.
I could certainly make it sound as I'm reading it like I do. Sandpoint has 19, Mississippi 6, and Deep River 2.
Yeah.
So go Deep River. No, seriously. Just hope they all have a good weekend, much like us with the two-ball. It's going to be great weather for it, and looking forward to seeing the results of the Gordon Cup pop across our email, so we can get that posted up with a nice little photog of the winners hosting that trophy at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, they've got a great website to look at, and on top of that, Dan Shields, who's the GM pro up there, will put on a great show.
Oh yes, he will.
A big celebration up there.
It'll be a Valley show.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if we
there's a difference sometimes. There's the Valley show, and then there's the Metro show. The Valley show is Dan definitely will know how to put on the Valley show.
Yeah, definitely. If we weren't hanging out at Brockville, I'd definitely want to be up there for sure. I'm sure
that'd be a great event to cover.
Oh yeah, it'd be a great time.
Okay, so we did talk about the two-ball, but just to kick that back in, the two-ball is happening this weekend. We're very excited about it. So you'll be able to follow it. Hopefully, I think we'll be able to do all the live scoring for the event through Golf Genius, and I will get a leaderboard popped up on the front page of flagstick.com. But you can also go and check out the live leaderboard at flagstick2ball.com. Sure. There is a specific website for the event, flagstick2ball.com. All right, coming up before the end of the season, OVJ Junior Cup U13 at Royal Ottawa is also this week on September 10th. OVGA Junior Cup U19s at Greensmere on September 11th on the Sunday. Obviously this weekend. And the OVGA Two-Person Ryder Cup is September 12th to Monday at Smith Falls. And to wrap up the flagstick.com PGA of Ottawa tour for the years, the fall championship that will be coming up on September 21st also at Smith Falls, and returning for this year is the Ping Challenge Cup. And that'll be coming up. Geez, that's coming up too.
That's in October.
God,
we'll get to
October.
that. That's actually in fall.
Yes.
Whereas these are still, hanging on to summer.
So we still got a little bit of time before the Ping Challenge Cup, but excited to be in the cart with you for that once again this year, and searching for bragging rights in my team's position on the Ping Challenge Cup trophy.
Sure.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. That was a lot, and that was good stuff in the
still
front
a lot
nine.
going on this time
I know.
of year. I mean, it's still, it's late summer, but just still a lot of events happening. We haven't even got to scramble season.
Oh gosh, no. Scramble season. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to head out to the lesson tee with Jake Haime, talk a little shoes and product watch, and we're going to talk some fall golf. So don't go away. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
At Ping, we're an engineering company. Success is measured in the lab and on your scorecard. We focus on results, your results. In the G425 Max driver, that means more time in the fairway, less time in the rough. It means longer drives, shorter approach shots, and fewer putts. The new G425 drivers, taking MOI to the max. Get fit today.
Visit ca.ping.com to learn more about G425. And we're back and heading to the lesson tee with Jake Haime this week. And Jake's going to be talking a little bit about face awareness. So for this week's lesson tee, obviously brought to you by the Kevin Haime Golf School. It's always the right time to play better golf. Whether you need private lessons, a better short game, some putting help, or even a custom club fitting, visit kevinhaime.com, and remember that better golf is a lot more fun. So yes, let's head out to the lesson tee and see what Jake's got to say about club face awareness.
All right, golfers, time for a quick tip and a really simple homemade way to work on face control during your pitching. So as you can see here, I have a coat hanger that I'm holding alongside my grip in line with the leading edge. And that gives me a really good sense of where my face is during my swing. If I set the club down behind the ball, you can see how this hanger stays square to the face, and it'll give me a lot of awareness as to whether I roll my wrist throughout the shot, if I use my wrists improperly, and essentially help me understand if I'm keeping my face square enough. Then, if I use my body to turn and have a nice simple arm swing, the coat hanger will stay between my arms, I won't roll the club around, and I'll wind up hitting much more clean, square pitches with proper body motion and a simple arm swing. Use a coat hanger to work on your face awareness and hit better pitches.
Another great tip.
I like
it's
that.
Funny, I always like Kevin's tips.
Yeah.
Jake is really getting very good. He's getting very good. He's been very good at doing the not at the teaching. The teaching he's always been good at, but it's takes a little bit of work to do tips.
It does, like that, just to present them.
Yeah, and he's doing amazingly well. And that's another, as a fellow professional, that's another great bit of advice.
Yeah, I like that one. I make use of a hanger myself, but this is a good way to make use of it as far as, people are not aware totally of if their club face is square or not. So having the hanger like that along the grip line in between your hands lets you really become hyper aware of what's happening with the club face. Sometimes we think we are, sometimes we're not. It's like a club head when somebody's hitting a driver. Sometimes people think they're hitting it off the center face, but they're not necessarily are. So in this case, really good to help you out with your pitches, get you from rolling your wrist, collapsing your wrist, but also just, in general, making sure that it's square as well. So good stuff there. Very simple, easy to do. You can hop out to any local store. Everybody's got a hanger at their house, don't they?
I was gonna say, hop out to a local store. If you don't have a hanger in your house, where are your clothes?
I don't know.
Do you have a lot of dressers?
You're probably
living in a pile of laundry?
You're probably a new student is probably what you are. You're probably at university for the first time or something.
Yeah, so your cupboards are filled with Kraft dinner and Hamburger Helper.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Yes. So, okay. Let's jump into officially jump into the back nine presented this week by Golf Sim Gurus. As always, work on your game all year round, and now more important than ever, if you want to do this, you better get on the horn and
right now.
get something booked, or you're probably not going to get one put in. But if you want to work on your game all year round in the privacy of your own home, custom golf simulator setups built to your specs to fit your budget. Visit golfsimgurus.ca to learn more. Okay. We want to jump into some fall golf talk. That's where we're at right now. It is September. It's September.
It's not fall yet.
Forget the 27, 29 degrees. This is nice. This is fun, but it's not going to last. We are going to get into some color changes, and fall golf is officially going to be upon us before we know it. So we want to talk about fall golf. We want to talk about, what's good about it. What do you do to prepare for it? Where can you play? Where are the coolest golf courses that you can head out to when the leaves do start to change? Where you can really experience what fall golf is all about. And this is always been one of my favorite times of the year for playing golf.
Well, that's what I was going to get to first. Do you like fall golf?
I love fall golf.
That's the starting question.
Well, there's two reasons why I love fall golf. Number one, I do like the visual splendor of what fall golf brings. The colors, it's a little chillier, so you got a little sweater on, and I also like it, always have liked it, because generally speaking, I've been in the golf industry for quite a long time, back in the retail days, but then doing this, not a lot of golf. I don't play a lot of golf during the season because I'm generally pretty busy. And I prioritize things, and golf is not always the priority that I have during the season. But then come this time of year, as I've always said, this is kind of when my golf season sort of begins, because things with the golf business is sort of winding down a little bit. It's not as busy. And we're into hockey season a little bit, but that doesn't occupy my days because the kids are in school. So I can go play during the day. Drop kids off at school, go play 9 holes or even 18 during the day, pick kids up from school, come home, have supper, and go to hockey. So it doesn't interfere with things. So it's a good time of the year for me to play golf. What about you? Is it?
Yeah, it's sort of a double-edged sort of thing. I mean, one, I like to play the same as you. While I like hot temperatures, it's nice to be comfortable when you're playing golf. You get sort of a little sad knowing that winter is coming. But that said, in general, I think I really affiliate this time of year the same type of thing, more casual golf. Having a little bit more fun. I tend to play in a few more scrambles, maybe travel a little bit. Got a couple of trips coming up.
Used to, right? I mean, that used to be, this was it. Like, we would be wrapping up the end of September, and around the end of September, early part of October, we were essentially jumping in a vehicle. And we were gone. That was road trip. We were, it started with when we did the very first road trip to Michigan, Sunrise side. And there were some chilly rounds of golf on that trip, because I mean, you're going to Michigan. We're not talking about driving to Pinehurst, which were later road trips. Our first one was Michigan. It's not warm in Michigan in October.
No, but generally, I do like this time of year. Definitely some adjustments and stuff to be made. Like I said, I love playing the scrambles. I love seeing some people that maybe you didn't see during the year. Again, other golf pros, other people working in the industry. Everybody's so busy, and again, it doesn't make it easy. A lot of them don't have staff as much this time of year, but you try to squeeze in those games that you haven't. I mean, I played last week with Dale Peterson, the pro down at Garrison, and we haven't played all year. Have seen each other, but have not played. And that used to be a regular game that we'd play. So I do like it. And as far as scenery is concerned, for sure, you can't beat the visuals. And we'll get into that a little bit when we start talking about golf courses, but it's different. It's different to play this time of year. You have to prepare a little bit differently. Even those trips, obviously, we could go on some of those trips, and you're like, do I bring shorts or do I bring every piece
To
of
bring
clothing
everything, just pull the
yeah,
drawer out of your
right,
dresser, or if you're
exactly.
one of those people that don't have hangers,
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
guess you're just like
exactly.
grabbing a
Yeah.
handful of stuff off the floor and putting it in the back of your car and going.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're not flying, and I mean these days
Yeah.
with flying, it's like, okay, do I want to lose a bag if I'm going? So I mean, I'm getting ready to head to New Brunswick next week, and I'm going to be there for like 4 days, and I'm like, well, yeah, I got to bring a fair bit of clothes just in case.
At the same
But
time, if it's $1,000 for your ticket to fly and it's $500 for luggage,
yeah,
because you're
exactly.
trying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
bring everything
yeah.
under the sun with you, that doesn't
Yeah.
make it any easier either.
No, exactly. So, when we start to look at fall golf, you definitely have to, start making some adjustments. But, the temperatures are obviously the courses are less busy, and
Yeah,
no offense to the kids that, populated the golf course all summer long, but
but they're
hey,
gone.
they're back to school. So,
Yeah.
they're squeezing in their golf at a certain times of day. But you don't have to compete with them. And, generally the golf courses will be less busy anyways. There's a lot of
Mhm.
people that have really got to this time of year. They played their the amount of golf that they really want to play. They really slow it down a bit. So that also creates some opportunities to play some quick rounds this time of year, which, obviously we like as well, to get out there and see a golf course that's not as busy. Unfortunately, there's less hours to play in,
And yeah, and they see it's everything good has a sort of has a bad that goes along
right.
with it. I
Yin,
mean,
yin and yang there. Yep, for sure.
exactly. Used to this year I've played a fair number of 9-hole rounds.
Mhm.
My youngest son Brandon, I say youngest, he's 15, but he's got he had a very much a drop in interest in the game.
Mhm.
And he's, this summer he's gotten a renewed interest in the game. He's
Okay.
enjoying it again. He's having a lot of fun. He's fun to play with. But we basically would go out at 6:30 and
Mm.
play,
Yeah,
and we'd
six
play.
thirty won't get you much right
No,
now
we'd
with the
play
way
9 holes. And now
right.
I think we're going to pop out tonight, around 6 o'clock for.
Yeah,
We'll probably squeeze 9 in.
barely. Yeah, barely.
But you got to play quick. But now there's some other things that you need to do, Scott, like with respect to being prepared for fall golf that people should be aware of. And those that play a lot of it, they don't need us to tell them this, but clothing, when you go to the course is one thing, obviously, is making sure you've got sweaters and maybe you've got the warm mitts,
Mm-hmm.
if you're playing late in
Yeah,
the
cart
fall,
mitts. Yeah.
cart mitts. They're not just for carts. Okay.
No.
They're cart mitts, but you can wear them if you walk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about things that you would change in your equipment for the fall?
Yeah, well, you mentioned, clothing. Obviously, that's one thing, but I picture shoes as
Mm-hmm.
equipment as well. A lot of people, because the ground this time of year tends to be a little bit more moist,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to have. So we look at shoes that now people ought to have shoes that are summer shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They're lighter weight, maybe don't have the waterproofing. You're definitely going to need shoes that are more waterproof this time of year. Probably want to look at something that maybe has actual spikes. And I say actual spikes, I mean soft spikes still,
Yes.
versus a spikeless model, just for the extra traction in the turf. But then we get to our gear as well, because the ground is changing, and we saw that dramatically in the last couple of weeks in Eastern Ontario, where we had a lot more moisture coming down. We're not getting the roll that we once did. So the turf is awfully softening up. Basically, what you want to be looking at is, if you have an adjustable driver, looking at a little bit more loft,
Mm-hmm.
to get more of your yardage out of carry rather than roll. So, if you have a lower lofted driver and you're used to having a fair amount of roll during the summertime, that's not carrying as much. It's not going on the higher trajectory. So we may need to nudge the loft up a little bit on our drivers, our fairways, our hybrids, if you can do that. That is definitely essential. As far as we get a lot of people that are like, man, I'm not hitting the ball anywhere right now. Well, yeah, that's all because of the ground
Yeah.
more than anything. So that's a quick and easy adjustment that a lot of people will probably look at. If you had the in-out situation of a long iron, like a 2-iron, you may want to replace that with a hybrid this time of year. Believe it or not, there are people out there that are playing.
You might want to think about replacing that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But again, that goes back to loft and launch as well. Have a look at your wedges. When we look at players as far as their wedges are concerned, some people just don't have a lot of bounce on their wedges. And the thing is that, you're going to get a situation where those wedges, you're going to be digging in a lot more. Because you're digging in a lot more, you're going to get the ball high off the club face as well. That leads to less spin, kind of weak launches. So I know players that, will have maybe a higher bounce wedges that they bring in for soft conditions, and it may be just in their highest lofted wedge. It may be in their their 56, 58, their 60. That will definitely be more useful as the club works into the turf a little bit more as well, so that you can get sort of the same type of reaction that you did when you're hitting your low bounce wedge off firmer conditions during the summertime. But it definitely makes a difference. The other side too is that because you're going to have extra moisture out there, got to make sure that you're cleaning off your club faces more, making sure that you're not getting moisture between the golf ball and the club face, things that are causing a reduction in friction. So otherwise you're just going to end up with, chips and pitches out of wet rough that is just, they're not going to spin as much. They're going to roll out a little bit more, and they're going to launch a little bit higher. So you're going to get a different reaction that way. So you can make adjustments with your equipment to sort of overcome some of the things that happen with the fall conditions as well.
Cool. Okay, so we've got what we like about fall golf. We've got how we're going to prepare ourselves for fall golf. Now let's just talk quickly about where to play. Now this is going to be a little bit of a we're going to have to be a little generic here, but this is our podcast, so we can pretty much say whatever we feel.
Well, I don't think we need to be. I mean, there's lots of golf courses. We're not offending golf courses. We can't feel like just because a golf course is not really, you can play anywhere. So let's just say that. But there's some key elements that really play into the things and the features of fall golf, which is elevation. So that you can get long vistas. There is a case of golf courses that basically have deciduous trees that are obviously changing colors versus going to a flat golf course with a whole bunch of pine trees in the fall. It's probably not doing it for you.
I mean, so, you're not getting a fall golf experience other than the wet conditions and the temperature.
Exactly. So we're it's not meant to. It's not offending anyone or whatever.
No,
we're just basically pointing out that kind of within the region. Yes, you know what? It's hard to think of every golf course, but we can talk about some of the golf courses, especially within the region, that are popular in the fall.
We're very much blessed with the fact, in this region, especially in some areas of the province and some areas of the country, they don't have the variety in offerings that we have. We're fortunate. We're very close to the Gatineau Hills. We're very close, relatively speaking, to Mont Tremblant, which should be like one of the extreme elevations. We have the Upper Valley, which is a variety of elevations up there as well. So we have these options, and that's where these options exist, where you go to Tremblant and you're up there playing Le Géant or the Diable or the Mate or the Belle, the Bet. Manitou even is a little bit of elevation to it. Those are extreme cases. We have Mont Saint Marie, we have Montebello on that side. We also have La Sorcière, which is the closest with the most elevation, and Mont Cascade and Kingsway, even though Kingsway is relatively flat course.
It's the surroundings.
It's at the base of the Gatineau Hills, so you've kind of got that surrounding you. You're looking up and seeing all that beautiful stuff. And then down your way, obviously, you've got quite a bit. You've got Smugglers. We no longer have Glen Lawrence, unfortunately, but you got Smugglers Glen down that way. And Colonnade, or not Colonnade. Colonnade is down there, but not Colonnade. Camden Bray has
Yeah.
a little bit of elevation to it,
Mhm.
and there's others down there.
Black Bear Ridge
Yep.
in the Quinte region, is a golf course that, has some elevation on the property, has some of those vistas as well. Again, I mean, these are just suggestions. These are ones we get all the time. Like, people
Mhm.
ask us all the time to go this, but I would definitely say on that Quebec side, there's some strength there because of that elevation and the
Mhm.
Gatineau Hills. And again, we're talking locally here, but we now have the option, if you want to wander across the border, you can do that
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
So northern New York State, where you can take advantage of the the extended area of the Appalachians. Malone is fantastic.
Yeah.
Lake Placid, fantastic. We've done
Yes.
trips there, like, a mountainous region. Great to see, spectacular. I think the elevation is really the hook here more than
Yeah, it
anything.
is. It is.
Is just to be able to see, like I said,
For
those
miles
vistas.
and miles and miles.
Right,
Like,
where
that's
you
the
can see
idea.
those vistas, lots of those trees, rich colors, landscapes. It just provides a nice background. So, and it's fun too to do a getaway this time of year.
Mhm.
Get away for a couple of rounds. Maybe you've got a few friends that you haven't seen all year. Skip away for, doesn't need to be a weekend. It can be a couple days during the week. Maybe sit around the campfire afterwards, have a beverage
Yeah.
or two, maybe a fireplace. Who knows? There's just a lot of opportunities here. And like you said, we're really blessed kind of in this area to be able to do that. But
Big time.
get in your car and take a drive. I can tell you, going up to that upper valley, this time of year, your Cobdens, your Whitetails, your Homestead of Wolf Ridge, Renfrew, all those, as you drive up that way and you drive along 60 and heading towards Algonquin Park, some of those vistas are amazing. And
Yep.
you might only end up playing 9 holes and spending more time driving, just looking at the scenery, but it's definitely worth it. And again, it's a great time just to play golf in the region for sure. And get out and make those tee times before the snow falls.
There you go. Let's do it. Okay. Great little segment, fall golf. Love it. If you've got any questions about anything that we spoke of with respect to fall golf, feel free to reach out to either Scott or myself.
Yeah.
You can reach out to us through the website. Scott Mack at flagstick.com, Jay Botter at flagstick.com. Email us anytime. Okay. Product watch. Talking about shoes in that last segment, segue into Product Watch a little bit. Product Watch is brought to you by Greensmere Golf and Country Club. Elevate your game at Greensmere. Choose between 2 great golf courses, 18-hole championship courses, distinctively different, definitely challenging, beautiful in the fall. Visit greensmere.com for more info or to book your tee time. See, you can modify script as often as you want. That one worked out really well. Okay.
Yeah, great spot there. That was definitely one that's from a mention. Again, it's all about that elevation, and 36 holes there at Greensmere. It looks great in the fall.
It does. Okay, let's talk about the ECCO Golf, the newest ECCO Golf collection, shoe collection. I'm going to defer this whole thing to you because this is like your baby, your cup of tea.
Yeah.
You're the product guy. I looked at this great looking lineup of shoes. Awesome. I do recall I did have a pair of ECCO shoes many moons ago that I got from the PGA show in Orlando one year.
Right.
And clearly they're too small and probably beat up now to bring them out and look at. But let's talk about the new ECCO lineup, Scott.
Yeah, there's a number of new models here that the company is bringing out. They're sort of building on the legacy of what they've had in the past. If people are not really familiar with ECCO, they're a Danish company, build very high quality golf shoes. In fact, some of the products that I tested, if people want to go back, I'll have to look and see if it's on the website. I actually did a product test one time on a pair of ECCO shoes. It took me 2 years to write the review, and the reason why it took 2 years is because I was testing them the whole time. And I started by testing those shoes at 2012 RBC Canadian Open by walking 200 holes that week in a brand new pair of shoes. Now, those were their Biome hybrids.
That's bold.
It was. And they appreciated it, though. The fact that, I spent that long time, and I still have those shoes. I still own those shoes, and now I use them just for mowing the lawn, but super durable. But the cool part is 10 years later, though, that model is back. The Biome Hybrid, it's a casual running shoe style. It is part of this collection. And that's a ringing endorsement for it. That's how high quality they are. These are not shoes that all of a sudden, you have and you're going to throw out. And they've got a basically models here for kind of everybody. G5, their Biome G5 is sort of their flagship shoe that's in here. It builds on some of their other ones that they've had before. Has Gore-Tex waterproofing, sort of a more modern design. It's maybe a little bit different than what people would expect from some of the ECCO shoes. But they've also got a model in here that is basically specifically designed for Lydia Co, who's an ambassador for them. It's a custom designed shoe, pays homage to her country of her birth, which is South Korea. Has hibiscus flowers and stuff on it. Kind of really neat as far as the design is concerned, but there's a little bit of something in this model line, and there's multiple models in here: the Golf Core, the Golf Tray, the S3, and also multiple colors as well. So I'd encourage people to go and have a look at them, but I'd say the biggest thing within them is things that people are always looking for. They're looking for comfort and they're looking for durability. And again, they may not be the cheapest shoes, but the quality is there. So if you're looking for that is important to you, that's a good reason to look at ECCO as far as these shoes are concerned. So a nice line both in men's and in women's. They might not have all these colorways available in Canada, but you can hop on, look at their website. I know you can do some ordering through the US as well with them, but people should just generally have a look for ECCO if they're looking for comfort, durability, and a variance as far as the designs in both men's and women's. And these should be out. They're debuting right now. We should see the full distribution of them within a few weeks.
Cool. Yes. I mean, I do recall the ECCO shoes that I had way back in the day. They were extremely comfortable.
Yeah, and the leather that they use is really tremendous, and it's very flexible, very supple. So again, they don't scrimp on details for the design. If everybody's ever been into one of the ECCO shoe stores, if they've ever been to a large metro center and seen the ECCO shoes, they do high quality. So definitely something to check out for people to look at.
Awesome. All right, check it out. Website golf.ecco.com.
You got
correct?
It. Yeah.
Awesome. Check it out. All right. See, I told you. See, I've made it through. We are at the end. We're at the bottom of the mountain. We're heading home. And we've had an awesome show. This has been a really good show. Really good show.
Yeah, we should mention we might not have a show next week since I'm away. We're going to have a little skip there. I'm going to be away in New Brunswick. Make it a little bit more difficult to get a show done, but certainly you'll be gathering some information down there. It's a travel trip. It's something that was supposed to happen a couple of years ago with a couple other golf writers that we know. Our friend Tim Baines is on the trip, so should be funny to be along with him. He said he's never been to New Brunswick, which is shocking.
Yeah. Okay, well,
anyways,
we can knock that off the bucket list. Then,
we apologize in advance as far as not having a show next week, but we'll be back ASAP.
Yeah, exactly. Now we should know. I mean, as we head into the off season, I guess if you want to call it the off season, we will, for the most part, be trying to do this podcast, this show, on a weekly basis. But there will come a time from time to time where we may skip a week. With holidays, and it is kind of the time when we kind of wind down a little bit, so we may want to take some R&R, but I think we can probably find it in our hearts to fit an hour a week into
totally it's
talking
just a matter
golf with a bunch of people.
It's just a matter of being remote and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It makes it more challenging sometimes. I know I've got a couple of trips coming up here. Gonna have a look at some products with our good friends at Adidas at the end of the month out in BC and have a look at that. But the good part is able to bring that news and information back to our listeners, to our viewers, and share a little bit about what's happening in those locations.
Exactly. Okay, so now as we shut her down here, I just want to mention As many may be aware, earlier in the spring, we launched the limited edition Flagstick head covers.
Yeah.
And we were selling those through our own website. Well, we have acquired more, and we have now made an exclusive arrangement with Canadian Pro Shop Online, a good friend Lee Tamburano at the Canadian Golf Club, but with the Canadian Pro Shop Online, which is one of the largest online golf retailers in the country. We've made an arrangement with him. They will be selling the head covers exclusively through Canadian Pro Shop Online. They just launched the product to the website this week. Yep. And so now you can get go to the Canadian Pro Shop Online.com, or you can go to flagstick.com, and you'll see a link right there, a graphic for the head covers throughout the website. You can click on that, and it will now go directly to their website where you can buy and have it shipped from them. So we're really excited about that new partnership, new arrangement with the Canadian Pro Shop Online, and getting a few more of those head covers. It's still a limited quantity available, but we did acquire some more. The demand seemed to be there, so we've got more and more available for you. So there you go.
Awesome.
All right. Great show, Scott McLeod.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
And I want to thank all our sponsors: Metcalf Golf Club, Golf Sim Gurus, Greensmere Golf and Country Club, Kevin Haime Golf School, and of course our presenting sponsor this week, Ping Golf Canada. If you are looking to improve your game, then you need to check out the entire family of G425 drivers, fairway woods, hybrids, and irons at ca.ping.com. Glad you're enjoying what you're hearing and watching with us here on the Flagstick Podcast. Be sure to follow us across all the social media networks, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Audible, and Apple Podcasts. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Some cool stuff we may be doing throughout the off-season. Prizes, giveaways, contests. You never know. But you got to subscribe and be there if you want to participate in that. Like us and click the notification bell to make sure that you never miss a single episode. And of course, get yourself over to flagstick.com for even more amazing golf content that we put up there every single day. As always, appreciate you tuning in. Until next week, I am Jeff Potter.
I'm Scott McLeod.
Always remember, go for the stick.